What if I told you that everything you learned about the first people in the Americas might be wrong, and that the proof is buried in Central Texas, or that a unique, stone-built city once thrived on the windswept plains of the Panhandle? Get ready to question everything you thought you knew about the Lone Star State. The story of Texas is not just one of recent history. It's a deep, complex, and often baffling saga that stretches back thousands of years. All across the state, from remote canyons to suburban backyards, lie structures and artifacts that challenge our most fundamental assumptions about the past. In this video, we're uncovering 6 more incredible sites that are forcing historians and archaeologists to rewrite the timeline of North America. These are places that hold the keys to forgotten cultures, debunked myths, and modern marvels. Prepare to have your view of Texas history turned completely upside down. Number 6. The GAULT site. For most of the 20th century, the story of how people first came to the Americas was presented as a simple, straightforward fact. Around 13,500 years ago, a group known as the Clovis people arrived and rapidly spread across the continent. Well, the GAULT site, a sprawling 40-acre archaeological site in central Texas, has completely shattered that old narrative. Over the years, this incredible location has yielded an astonishing 2.6 million artifacts, but the most amazing discovery was what they found underneath the well-documented layer of Clovis tools. Archaeologists carefully excavated a whole different and previously unknown set of projectile points and tools. Using advanced dating techniques, these artifacts were found to be between 16,000 and 20,000 years old. This provides some of the best and most conclusive evidence for a pre-Clovis population, pushing the timeline for human presence in North America back by thousands of years. The GAULT site is a crucial part of a wave of discoveries across the Americas that are revolutionizing our understanding of the continent's first inhabitants. It definitively proves the first Texans were here long before we thought, and leaves us with a massive, tantalizing question: who were they? Number 5. The buried city of the Panhandle. In the windswept, seemingly endless plains of the Texas Panhandle, of all places, lies what you might call a buried city. Archaeologists refer to it as the Antelope Creek phase, a remarkable culture that thrived here from about 1200 to 1500 AD. What is so absolutely stunning about these people is how they built their homes. Instead of the simple hide teepees you would expect to find on the Great Plains, the Antelope Creek people constructed large, multi-room houses out of heavy stone slabs. These were arranged into villages that looked far more like the pueblos of the Southwest than any traditional plains settlement. For many years, experts simply figured they must have been a group that migrated from New Mexico, but analysis of their pottery and tools clearly connects them to plains cultures. They were a true hybrid, a fusion of 2 different worlds, mixing the stone architecture of the Southwest with the bison hunting lifestyle of the plains. Why they created this unique and resilient lifestyle, and where they went when their villages were suddenly abandoned around 1500 AD, remains one of Texas's greatest and most compelling archaeological puzzles. Number 4. Fate Bell Shelter. Tucked away beneath a colossal limestone overhang in Seminole Canyon, you'll find the Fate Bell Shelter. This place wasn't just a temporary home. Given the knowledge painted on its walls, you could almost call it one of North America's oldest libraries. The floor of the shelter is over 10 feet thick with layers of cultural debris, a compressed, stratified history of daily life stretching back over 8,000 years. But the real story, the priceless manuscript, is on the walls. The shelter contains some of the oldest and best-preserved examples of Pecos River-style rock art, complex murals painted between 3,000 and 4,000 years ago. And these are not just simple drawings of stick figures and animals. The murals depict shamanic figures, powerful spirits, and complex ritual scenes in what researchers believe are sophisticated visual stories about myths, beliefs, and the cosmos. Tragically, the site was heavily looted by treasure hunters before it could be properly protected, meaning that much of the archaeological context for these magnificent paintings is gone forever. The artifacts that could have helped us interpret the art were stolen, leaving us with only the silent, mysterious figures on the walls and the enduring mystery of the stories they were meant to tell. Number 3. The burial cairns of West Central Texas. If you travel across the rugged hilltops and mesas of West Central Texas, you'll see thousands of mysterious stone mounds dotting the landscape. These are called cairns, and for over a century, no one was quite sure what to make of them. We now know that many of these structures were ancient graves, carefully built stone tombs for men, women, and children. Based on the style of arrow points found in some of the burials, this practice dates to a period between roughly 800 and 1300 AD. The people who built them were hunter-gatherers, who came before the Apache and Comanche, but that's about all we know for certain. Widespread looting and poor documentation by early collectors destroyed a tremendous amount of evidence that could have told us more. The sheer number of these cemeteries suggests these people were marking their territory, creating permanent, sacred landmarks across the region. But who they were, why they invested so much energy in burying their dead under tons of heavy rock, and what ultimately happened to them are profound questions that, because of the damage done, we may never be able to fully answer. Number 2. The Glen Rose Dinosaur Tracks. In the limestone bed of the Paluxy River near Glen Rose, you can literally walk in some of the best preserved dinosaur tracks in the entire world. But for decades, this site was famous, or perhaps infamous, for something else entirely. A sensational claim that alongside the clear three-toed dinosaur tracks were the fossilized footprints of giant humans. If true, it would be world-changing proof that people and dinosaurs lived at the same time, completely upending the entire timeline of evolutionary science. The claim, which exploded in popularity during the 1930s, ignited a massive controversy. For years, advocates shared photos and plaster casts of these so-called man tracks. But in the 1970s and 80s, teams of scientists finally arrived to set the record straight. Through careful investigation, they proved that the alleged human footprints were a combination of things. Some were simply elongated dinosaur tracks that had been misidentified. Others were natural erosion marks in the rock, and in a few cases, they were outright fakes, carved during the Great Depression by locals to sell to curious tourists. Science ultimately solved this mystery, proving there is no credible evidence from the Paluxy River that humans and non-avian dinosaurs ever walked the earth together. Number 1. Stonehenge 2. And finally, on a roadside in the Texas Hill Country near the town of Ingram, you might just see something completely impossible. Stonehenge. Well, sort of. This is Stonehenge 2, and it wasn't built by ancient druids performing mystical rites, but by a healthy dose of modern Texan creativity. In the late 1980s, a local landowner named Al Shepard had a spare slab of limestone and, with his neighbor Doug Hill, simply decided to build his own version of the famous monument. It's an impressive effort, standing at about 60% the height of the original, though most of the stones are actually plaster built over a sturdy wire frame. As if that wasn't enough, a few years later, inspired by a trip, Shepard added 2 giant, 13-foot-tall replicas of the Moai heads from Easter Island for good measure. The whole bizarre collection was originally located in a private pasture, but was painstakingly moved to the Hill Country Arts Foundation campus in 2011 to save it from being dismantled. While it won't be rewriting any history books, Stonehenge 2 stands as a perfect monument to the unique Texan spirit of making your own mark on the landscape, creating a fun, modern mystery for future road trippers to wonder about. From a site that rewrites the very history of human migration to the Americas, to forgotten cities and mysterious tombs, Texas is a land where the past is never truly settled. These structures prove that the story of this state is older, stranger, and far more complex than most people imagine. They are riddles of stone, earth, and plaster that challenge what we know and inspire us to keep digging for the truth, proving that countless mysteries are still out there, waiting to be solved. Which of these 6 mysteries do you most want to see solved? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love digging into the unknown, Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more historical deep dives. Join us next time as we investigate the enduring mystery of the lost Roanoke colony and a strange, carved stone that might just hold the answer to one of America's oldest cold cases.